Greetings fellow ukuleleans, Jeff Weinberger coming at you here with a new ukulele tutorial. Today I'd like to talk about the 2-5-1 chord progression. That sounds like fancy music theory musician talk, but we're going to break it down so that if you don't know what 2-5-1 means, you will by the end of this tutorial. And if you do, bear with me, maybe this is good review for you. So the 2-5-1 is simply the second chord of any major key to the 5 chord of any major key to the 1 chord of any major key. And jazz musicians use this all the time. It's in so many great jazz standards. Autumn Leaves being a very good example, Satin Doll being a very good example, All the Things You Are. There are millions and millions of these types of songs, and it's used in pop music too, 2-5-1s. It's not like it's only a jazz thing. It can happen in lots of music, classical music, bluegrass, every kind of music. So let's check out what a 2-5-1 is. We have the key of C, and of course C is the 1 chord, as we always do. We'll use our fingers. D minor is the 2 chord. If you're wondering, well, why is it minor instead of major? On my other channel, my original channel that I've discontinued posting to, but it's still available, I have lots and lots on diatonic harmony for the ukulele. Diatonic harmony being chords that come from scales, major or minor scales. And so look for those. Just Google Jeff Weinberger ukulele diatonic harmony or something like that, and it'll come up. So anyway, diatonic harmony, we have C being the 1 chord, we have D minor being the 2 chord, we have E minor being the 3 chord, right? And then we have F being the 4 chord, we have G being the 5 chord, we have A minor as the 6 chord, we have B diminished as the 7 chord, and then C is the 8 chord, which is the same as the 1 chord. It's just an octave up. So D minor being the 2 chord, G being the 5 chord, and C being the 1 chord. There's our 2-5-1 in the key of C. D minor, G, and C. It Never Rains in California. That was a good example of 2-5-1 in a pop song. But in a jazz context, you might hear it like with more of a swing feel. The chords can be turned into 7th chords. I was doing triads when I was doing D minor to G to C. Those are just major and minor chords. But if you add a 7th onto those to get D minor 7, G dominant 7, and C major 7, that's altogether much more jazzy. So I'm going to do that. Let's see what that sounds like. So the 7th just adds that little extra tang to it. A D minor, beautiful, plain kind of minor chord, but with the 7th, a little more complex, a little richer. And so when we talk about 2-5-1s, we're almost always talking about 2-5-1s using 7th chords. So let's learn the 2-5-1 progression in lots of common ukulele keys. That was the key of C, D minor, G, C, or D minor 7, G7, C major 7. Let us learn it in the next key in the circle of fifths. So if we're going clockwise around that circle, we have the key of G. And in the key of G, it's A minor, D, G, like this, or A minor 7, D7, G major 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor 7, D7, and G major 7. One more time. A minor 7, D7, G major 7. So, in case you didn't know those chords, A minor 7 just being all zeros, easiest chord in the world, otherwise known as C6. And then we had D7. I chose to do this D7, 2020, but you could have done 2223, just as good. They're both good. And then G major 7, 0, 2, 2, 2, which is a little bar on 3 strings, leaving your G string open. It's a nice chord to know if you don't already know it. It's not that far away from plain old G. There's G, there's G major 7. You need it for Tennessee Waltz, and you need it for Gentle on My Mind, and several songs right out of songbooks like The Daily Ukulele that use major 7th chords like that. Alright, let's learn it now in the key of D. Since we did the key of G, let's go further around that circle of fifths and get to our key of D. And by the way, if you do not have a good circle of fifths poster or PDF file or whatever, let me know. I will shoot one to you. I'll shoot it personally right to your email if you want one. I have several that I can share with you. Alright, so the key of D is going to be E minor, A, D, or E minor 7, A7, D major 7. Let's check out, make sure you know these chords first. Here's a plain old E minor chord, 0, 4, 3, 2. But in E minor 7, you could do 4, 4, 3, 5. That's a great little E minor 7. I like that one. That one works for me. And then A7, you probably know it, but it's 0, 1, 0, 0. Or if you want something a little more challenging, those of you who are more intermediates, check out this A7. It is 2, 4, 3, 4. It's a great A7. Or if you want to further up the neck one, 6, 7, 5, 7. So there's 3 quick A7s for you. That's a great skill to have as a ukulele player or any chordal instrument that you might play, guitar, piano, all of that, mandolin. If you know your inversions, if you can take a chord and play it 3 or 4 different ways, you're doing really well. That's a good mark of proficiency on the instrument, how many voicings of a particular chord you know. Alright. And that's the key of D. Let's play it. Oh, I didn't show you D major 7 yet. Sorry, let's not play it because I need to give you a nice D major 7. So there's one here that also is known as F minor 7, but let's check it out. It's 2, 1, 2, 0. That's a perfectly good D major 7. Let's hear that in this context. So again, E minor 7, any A7 that you might have, and D major 7. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. So that D major 7 is a little on the low side. It's on the lower spectrum of our pitches on the ukulele. If you want a higher sounding D major 7, check out this one. This is a beautiful jazzy one that's pretty common. You hear this used all the time. It is 2, 2, 2, 4. Let's see what it sounds like with that one. So that works. It has some nice voice leading in it. Some of the notes of one chord going smoothly to some of the notes in the next chord, voice leading. And then you could do a D major 7 like this. If you know C major 7 back here, 5, 4, 3, 2, all your fingers in a row like that, on adjacent frets, then move that up to and you get D major 7. So here we're talking 7, 6, 5, 4. D major 7. Let's see what it sounds like with that. Let's see if my fingers let me get to that chord. That's a tough one, man. I don't use that one often, but here we go. Let's see what we can do. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. D major 7 in a very tricky fingering, but I didn't fare too badly. Hopefully you fared okay too, getting to that. There is another E minor 7 if you want to know a more up the neck E minor 7 to match some of these higher sounds that we're creeping up towards. Do 7, 7, 7, 7. just barring across all 4 strings of your ukulele gives you a beautiful minor 7 chord, depending on which fret you're at. In this case, the 7th fret gives you E minor 7. The 5th fret is D minor 7. The 3rd fret is C minor 7, etc. So the wonderful world of movable 7th chords. There's whole tutorials to be taught and learned using those. So look out for those in the future, and look back to the past to my old channel where I probably have several of those. I, at this point, have lost track of what I had on that old channel. I covered, you know, probably 2 or 3 years on that channel, so there's many subjects. I did roughly one tutorial a week, so you can imagine it adds up after a while. So lots of minor 7th chords to be had on the ukulele, and just movable 7th chords in general. All right, we stopped at the key of D, and we took a side tangent into movable voicings and minor 7th chords and all of that. Let's move on to the key of A. So the key of A is B minor 7, E7, A major 7. And that's going to go like this. You had B minor 7, a bar across the 2nd fret. You had E7, which is 1, 2, 0, 2. Or you could do E9, which I like to do sometimes, which is 1, 2, 2, 2. That's a really cool sound. And then A major 7, which I did 2, 1, 4, 0. But you could also do 2, 1, 4, 2. A little bit of a stretch, but that's an A major 9. So there's lots of different ways to tackle chords. You can add 7ths and 9ths and all of that to sound jazzier, but let's keep it real basic. Alright, so we covered what? The key of C, the key of G, the key of D, the key of A. All we have to do is switch on over to the other side of the circle of fifths, to the left of C, counterclockwise. I'm doing this from a mirror image, but the key of F, that's the key right before C in the circle of fifths. The 2-5-1 in the key of F is going to be G minor, C7, F, like this. I think I played that in the intro. So G minor 7 is open. It's 2, 1, 1, 0, 2, 1, 1. And then we have C7, easy chord 0, 0, 0, 1. Or any C7 you might know will do. I like this one. I've been doing this a lot lately, as you noticed. 3, 0, 0, 3. I learned that from Brudda Is, from White Sandy Beach, checking out Brudda Is. And now I throw that in a lot of things that I do in the key of F. Thank you, Brudda Is, for teaching me that chord. And then F major 7, the easy fingering, 5, 5, 0, 0. You could do the hard fingering, the finger twister, 2, 4, 1, 3. I'm not so fond of that one myself, but 5, 5, 0, 0 is the one I tend to do. So let's take this out by together playing that 2, 5, 1 in the key of F together. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you have it, ukulele people. Hope you enjoyed that. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like this video if you truly did like it. Be sure to share this with your friends. Be sure to click the notify bell at the top to be notified of any new ukulele tutorials I come out with. And pop on over to my Patreon page, which I will provide a link to down below, where you can get chord diagrams and exercises to take you through all of these 2-5-1s in those various keys. Okay, fellow ukuleleans, you take care. Bye-bye.